Banter fam, happy Monday. Patience, baby, patience. It was teaching us that, again, market was chopping, and we kind of knew this. We knew it was going to chop for a couple of days. And the best thing was to do was to set limit orders, right? Be patient. And again, the little early warning sign was when the 12-hour, when the daily stocks get at the top, that means the market's going to chop a little bit. It means a little bit of a mid-time frame pullback needs to happen. And it also means that the real pullback happens at the end. So what it does is it chops, and then it sinks into the zones. And as you can see, altcoins are now entering and are in the big support zones that we want to buy them. So I go and look over here, and I see that my limit orders are triggering, baby. I see many of them actually hit. We had 16 limit orders, and I have 3 left. Okay, so my ETH position is in. That one actually tagged beautifully straight into profits. I have Solana in at the moment. I have Doge. I have AVAX. I have Cardano. I have ONDO. Then what I still have is some cash. Okay, and what I still have is 3 limit orders still sitting a little bit lower. So today I want to speak about a couple of things. The first thing is Bitcoin approached near all-time highs. Okay, now we didn't reject correctly when we're at the 103, 104,000, and we're saying, okay, at any point we can go test 99,000, right? So what did the price do? We decided to chop and actually go a little bit higher, which now means that the support that was at 99 has now risen up, but it still means that that sharp pullback has to happen. So what you saw was a rejection, but it brought our altcoins exactly where we wanted them to be. Plus, it took our dominance exactly into resistance, which means now at any point now, the dominance is going to start tanking to the downside. What does that mean? It means your altcoins are going to have the really strong bounce. So today we focused on buying. I'm telling you that today we drink tequila, right? Today we start popping some tequilas on a Monday, right? We're the crazy people that do things in reverse. We did not FOMO in last week. We did not chase the markets. We said, hey, we know a choppy session is incoming. We're going to set some damn limit orders and buy some specials because, again, we want to be on the side when we buy. We do not here, this side, we are buying. When markets are coming down, we are not going to buy when markets are going up. So let's get our damn altcoin entries today. Let me show you guys how I think there's one little dip off that's going to happen still on Bitcoin. But then I do think altcoins are going to rocket big. Let's spend the next day, 24 to 48 hours. Let's get our damn buys in. And it's time to start making money again. It is time to drink tequila. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like 𝗧𝗿𝗍𝗱𝗏. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
How are we doing? Brand channel, hit the subscribe button. Guys, like the video if you've been understanding a little bit of the patience, right? It feels good. It's a red day today, and we should be very happy, right? Because limit orders are hitting. I was sitting there for like 4 or 5 days. I was like, is market going to come hit my zones? It's going to hit my zones. And then those thoughts go through your head. Oh, maybe I should just FOMO in. And then I saw Bitcoin last night started to approach. And I'm like, oh, this alto, everything looks like it wants to pop. And they're like, stick to the damn plan, right? Stick to it. Because again, when something is shiny, you're going to want to always go and chase it. And it's always when the trap in comes. And what it has done today is it's represented some buy zones. It's represented us at good buy zones now, stronger levels now. We're actually at that point now where some real RSIs are hitting the bottoms now, right? Let's just see if this pops up over here. Let me just get it in here. Cool. There we go. Okay, so again, that's obviously your 4-hour, but the big one we wanted to hit was the 12-hour, right? 12-hour and daily. Let's go look at daily. Daily is there, guys. We are getting near. So what you're going to see from today, this is why they are moving the market now, right? It's because the big move happens when you're near the bottom, right? When you're near the bottom phases, you could see how the big move then happens. So what happens in that time is it chops, kind of gets everyone a little bit exhausted, and then it comes for the kill at the end. But the kill is the one that we really want to buy. So what you could see clearly that by tomorrow, we will have the altcoins oversold on the daily, okay? And then we're ready for a rise up. And again, if you look at a couple of things, you obviously look at where the market chopped, killed, and went, right? But this was the best entries for this pump over here. So what we are getting prepared for now is we know that this market is looking good. Okay, we do have Bitcoin over $100,000, right? So things are looking amazing, but it is time for us to prepare for the second wave of the altcoins. And that one is going to be a little bit bigger than the one that we just saw, right? The first one was pretty good, but we still realized that altcoins will fall harder on the red days and they'll go up more on the green days, right? But the next wave on alts is pretty big, because if you look here again on the total 3 here, you will see that the next one actually takes us into the phase of catching up to Bitcoin. Because if we look at what happened with Bitcoin recently, especially over the last few weeks, we obviously were at all-time highs for a little while, but then we dropped down to the levels, right? And then the first big one was for us to get through that big halfway mark, right? And once we got through that halfway mark, you could see now Bitcoin went and approached the all-time highs over here. So where the altcoins was stopping, Bitcoin broke through here and ended up going to the $104,000 zone. Your altcoins kind of halted. And we were sitting last week we were sitting with Bitcoin sitting in the 100,000s, right? But your altcoins were still sitting, but both of them were RSIs kind of tapped out. They had a strong push, right? Which then meant that, hey, start preparing for a little bit of chop, right? Because when you get to any of these phases, chop is what happens. And then what happens is after that is if we didn't get through this on alts, which we didn't, right? And that's what I was saying, guys, I'm not bullish here yet. We can get some, I'm bullish. I'm 100% bullish, but we can get better buy zones, right? We can get better zones on support, which means for now that wasn't the buy zone. This, where we broke out of, is the buy zone, right? And same for Bitcoin, that Bitcoin broke this level. This should be the buy zone, right? And it gives us a good understanding that altcoins are one phase behind Bitcoin, right? Which means next, what happens next on altcoins? Because when Bitcoin first approached this zone over here, and let's go look at this over here quickly for a second. But if you see when Bitcoin approached the zone for the first time, which was this zone over here, which was the $97,000 mark, right? We approached it and we actually rejected it. We rejected it and turned these levels that we broke into a new floor, into a support. Then after that, we shot through it, right? So the same thing I expected from the altcoins. We're going to reject the point, this point first. Once we reject the points, we're going to test support. Once we go support, then we go for the next phase. So what does that mean yet again on alts? It means that now it is time for us to get back to the highs that we had in November, right? These yo-yo charts no longer bother me. Exactly. Spot holdings are incredible. High time frame are incredible, right? But for trading, you need to be way more level-headed and trade the markets as it is and don't chase things, right? But if you look at this over here now, the next move on altcoins is for us to break through this resistance and actually go back to the levels. And that's big again, guys. This is 3K ETH again. This is $200 plus Solana. So I still think that this next leg over here is going to be bigger than the one that we just saw. Way bigger, right? I see it being in the areas of, if you look, you could see, right? I see it going all the way up to these areas over here. So I think these are incredible zones, and well done on getting ourselves, the biggest goal last week, get ourselves into good ass habits, right? Good zones. Understand that we buy pullbacks, we buy support buys, we don't chase pumps, we don't do these things. Because again, anyone that is sitting with that bought pumps, right, are basically stuck right now. You know, either stuck or really panicking out of the markets. And we don't want to be in that position of being stuck and being out. We want to be confident. So today is a good confidence booster for us to say, hey, we're in good habits right now and things are good. Now, the next thing as well, as you can see, is altcoins are now in our big support zone over here. What does that mean? It means that altcoins were doing lower highs all the time. Now it got its first higher high. Now we're looking for the higher low, turning all of this that used to be a red box into a green box, and we get going, right? So this is where we want to set some limit orders, where we want to buy some of the markets, and then we have the trend line over there that is telling us, hey, we could chop for 24 to 48 hours. We could chop a little bit more, okay? And that still then shows you again, okay, don't deploy 100% right now. And that's why for me, if I look at money-wise, when it comes to, let's say, the 𝗬𝗡 account as an example, okay, with these positions over here and the cash that I have still available, I'm around 60 to 65% in the market right now with trading positions, right? With this account, which is a little bit more my spot swing account sort of areas over here. Okay, so I'm still sitting 35%, 40% with some cash. Okay, where's my cash sitting? Lower down in limit orders. Okay, and I also have some cash on board. Why? Because I've come up with a system that I'm going to buy some altcoins on limit orders. Okay, on the top of the box is where I'm going to put my first ones. At the bottom one of the box where I'm going to put my second ones. And the last bit of cash that I have available, okay, is the break of the trend, right? And you can see here it is telling you that the market can chop a little bit. Now, let's speak about why the market can still chop for 2 days, because Bitcoin kind of has to catch up. Right? Altcoins are now in their zone, and altcoins are about to strengthen. We could see that alts are at the zone now where the money is going to start moving back into altcoins. So that just means two things. It means that, hey, get ready for a bounce. Firstly, the bounce is going to be epic, but also remember that for the next day or so, Bitcoin is looking a little bit weaker than the alts, and Bitcoin can catch up, right? And go to those support zones, because they are playing a trap out on Bitcoin. So let's go look at the trap on Bitcoin. This is currently the trap. Okay, so what happened here on Bitcoin? Bitcoin approached the all-time highs, right? It approached this big zone over here, which is the all-time high zone. Okay, and this is kind of where the last lying sort of bears are living, right? I believe they are wrecked. Okay, the bears. I think the bears were shorting here, here, and I think the last little bit of bears are sitting over here, right? Once they're done, you fool. Then it's a full bull market, right? No more bears in the market. Everyone's like, okay, it's time to go through to the moon, and there's no more what ifs anymore, and if Bitcoin's bullish or not, right? So that's where the last line is sitting. Now, the problem that Bitcoin didn't do, and this is why I said be patient, guys, because the trap will happen at any point, was Bitcoin started basically pumping up into the zone, and it started chopping. And the better way things would have been is if it dipped off here and then it went. That would have been the straight bull great scenario. That's the way I would have preferred it as bulls to see that happen, right? We know we had limit orders, we're waiting, all these things, and we've done really good. Okay, but what Bitcoin instead did, and this is what the market would normally do. Okay, but we got to remember that, hey, this is all-time highs on Bitcoin. We need to trap a bunch of people, right? We got to get them FOMOing in here. So what it did is it ended up sending a fake pump, right? And it sends a fake pump into the zone without pulling back. Now the pullback is happening, right? Which means that something like this is going to happen, and then we can get going, right? But it means that this is still in play. This Bitcoin pullback is still in play, okay? And we are sitting with two big zones. Now, one thing that may be a good sign for the higher high that we made, okay, is it may mean that support has risen, because I was waiting for this zone over here on Bitcoin, right? So I'm going to make a green box over here. This was the zone I was waiting for, was for Bitcoin to come and hit the 9,900. Why? Because that was resistance for so long, turned it into support, right? Then what happened is we obviously chopped, and we decided to make a higher high again, okay? So what it does maybe mean, okay, is this is still a valid support that Bitcoin can possibly come to, okay, but it does mean that, hey, support has now risen up, and it's actually now conquered this one. You see this one on the left-hand side over here? There we go, right? Now, it means that because we made a higher high here, higher low, which means Bitcoin won't actually go to 99 anymore. It's going to hold this 101, 102 and get going, right? And the best thing that I want to just see over there now, okay, is some RSIs get to the bottom, hold the zone, and a real bounce, because that's what we want to see. Now, again, I think there's going to be a bounce. I think the first bounce is going to be a fake bounce on Bitcoin. Okay, maybe it's the one that we're currently seeing right now. Okay, and then I think the real one's going to kick in. Okay, peace and just and positivity. Guys, okay, whoa. We're about to make so much money, right? We're on the other side. We're on the good side, right? We're on the side where it's like, we buying the dips. Everyone's getting panicked out right now. Everyone's getting pushed out right now. Like, we are on this side now. This is where the good shit happens, right? This is where the fun happens. This is where we make ridiculous money and we keep our heads. This is where great things happen. I am more positive now than what I was last week. Last week, I was like, this market needs a trap, it needs a trap, it needs a trap, it needs to get people out, right? That's what it needs to do, okay? And it's currently playing one beautifully. So again, you want positivity. When we bounce here or we bounce here, we are going to $120,000 to $130,000 at any point on Bitcoin. Okay, altcoins are going back to all-time highs, right? There is a lot of positivity here. From here, we go to these big zones up over here. Good stuff is about to happen, right? Okay, so yes, they're just catching out a bunch of the longs. So here is one of my first traps, right? This first pump, I think, or this bounce that we've seen here, I don't think is real at all just yet. I think Bitcoin's going to go for another hunt. Now, it's either going to go on the stock market opening, because I was looking here, stock markets are not looking the greatest. Here's futures here. It also popped up into the zone. Okay, I don't like that it's making this slow little grind up, and I think that at any point there can be another shake on stocks, right, over here at any point. So that's one point. But the second point is Bitcoin has lost short-term trend. Okay, that trend, you see when we go up, I track it. We're going up. Okay, let's see. It dropped that now. So this little fake bounce we're seeing here, I don't see it being real at all. Okay, I just see it being a nice little trap, which means there is another leg to the downside incoming. And we're probably looking at the next 24 hours that it happens. It might happen very quick now. Why? Because that's really going to trap people, because everyone just maybe FOMO'd into the tops here. They're about to get wrecked off now very quickly. So from here now, there's two dip offs that I'm seeing. The one is a little bit lower. So it's 101, 100 to 101, and there is that scenario over there too. Okay, over here. Now, the good thing is that I do think we have Bitcoin dominance going to be on our side. So you'll see our altcoins pull back now, but when this is done, guys, you're going to see a very strong rejection in Bitcoin dominance. Okay, and when this happens over here, okay, you're going to see a very epic bounce. Guys, I don't know if you remember in November, we were tracking this beautifully, and then Trump came in and played a bunch of games. So again, we have to have in our back of our minds that the dip could be a little bit deeper and these type of things. What difference did I make this time? I have limit order sitting lower now. Last time I had all my limit orders sitting in one place. That was the first scenario. The second one is I have cash. I'm still sitting with cash, right? That's the difference, okay? It's just making sure. But let's not be, this is great. We are now tracking and are in rhythm with the market fantastically at this point, okay? So this is incoming at any point and going. So let's get to the good stuff. Let's quickly speak about alts. Do you see how the altcoin, there is still a zone over here, which is still support, right? So it's just giving you understanding as well that your alts can go a little bit lower, but this is the buy zones. This is the support zones. This is where all the buying is sitting and all the buying power is sitting. And I'm expecting a very strong bounce, right? In the zone over here, but it is sitting between this area of a 5% range. Okay, so let's go through here. Here is ETH. ETH was one of my first ones that triggered because we put a cheeky limit order on ETH. Where is my history here? Order history. Okay, let's just see. Where did the ETH one hit? Where's my trade history? Transaction history. Is this correct? Okay. We got ETH, right? We got ETH, and ETH was at that sitting at the areas. Let's see what my average entry price is over here. We got it at the areas of 235. Now, let's go back over here. Again, what was that? That was showing us that support was here, and you could see here 235, boom, top of the box. Now I have one more order that is sitting over here at 2250. That's where my other limit order is sitting, but I'm loading up on ETH. And what I also have here is I have the big trend on the top there too. So again, what does it look like this, and then we start and then we go, right? That is the plan for me. So I want to try catch this next dip off over here. Okay, I got it at the bottom of the box, knowing that it might not get hit. I know the alts are in support now. They can bounce hard at any point. That's why I have some cash. And if it does bounce here, at least I got something in at this level over here that I can buy the rest of the breaker trend. It will average me out at a good entry price, right? So there's ETH. We look at things like Doge. Here's Doge over here. So again, I think Doge is going to drop off into here, and then we're going to go. So Doge, if you look at this over here, it's still that area of that 20 cents to the 21.5 sort of cents as well, right? ONDO. ONDO is looking a little bit weaker than the rest of the alts right now. Okay, so ONDO, that I do think it can dip off a little bit lower, but I got to look at everything now in the total 3 and say, hey, there's still a possible 5%. So ONDO might actually go to the big 618. So I just want to show this over here as well. So I'm in it. I'm happy with my position now, but there is another 618 sitting over here. So your big zone like this on ONDO is looking something like this. Your first major entries are in the zone, let's say here now at the top to enter something small, 10%, 15%. The rest of your limits are sitting strong at the bottom over here, and the rest will buy in the breaker trend, right? Cardano is sitting in good zones. I have my Cardano positions open. Okay, there's even a little bit at that 70-cent mark as well, right? But here is where I'm buying Cardano, Near Protocol, the big support zones over here. Solana, guys, this is what I see happening on Sol. Now, let me explain to you guys the different positions. So the way I'm trading this, I have a spot bag, I have a long-term bag. Those things are in loaded. I ain't touching those things, right? They're all great at the moment. Then what I have is the 𝗬𝗡 account. 𝗬𝗡 account, a little bit bigger size, leverage, okay, a little bit slower. Basically trading like a spot account. I'm limit ordering in, all these type of things. Then what I have is these accounts, okay, which is my smaller leverage accounts. Okay, BTC.C, Albank, okay, these are the accounts that I'm thinking. And you can see that the token that I've chosen, I don't think I'm going to trade multiple coins on my higher leverage accounts. Okay, I'm going to trade one coin because then I can get really good at the coin and I can be in track instead of chasing everything, right? That's kind of where you get trapped off. And you can see here, see where my limit orders are sitting there for the next dip off on Sol. 158.7, 157.5, 156.6. This is where my leverage positions are sitting. They're sitting into the zone. Sol did not hit support yet. That's why I think it's going to come down one more leg. But that is the leg that I want for the pump to $200, right? I want that heavy push over there. So Sol is the one that I've chosen, okay? And BTC.C, you can see where my limit orders are sitting. Same thing with Albank. We're going over here. I've chosen Solana. This one I'm trading 22,000. Let's go look. 21,800. But the important thing here, guys, you see how I still have 8,000 in cash. Okay, so I'm entering 60% of the money on limit orders. The rest I'll deploy manually, right? So that I have cash at any point. That's the small difference that I'm making, okay, to what I learned in November. Very important to make these small changes and to adjust yourself as you go. So there you could see that these accounts over here. Remember, guys, you want any of these exchange accounts, great deals. I see there's a tournament happening on WeX at the moment, but if you sign up, open up accounts, there's money to be made. But the big thing, guys, is sign up for Sniper School. Okay, here below in the description, Sniper School, any of these exchange accounts you sign up with get you into a free school that I start tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is when I started. Okay, let's jump back in. Sonic coming into 618. Sonic is coming into a very, very, very good area, right? Token that I want, one that has not released yet. Okay, there it is over there, coming to 618. This is where limit orders will be triggered. And again, the rest I will deploy on trend breaks over here. Boom. Okay, Algorand. There we go. You could see the zones, guys. Gotcha. You could see the zones. You could see how I'm using the bottom trend lines. You can see how I can use, look at AVAX. AVAX in the zone. There is Chainlink, right, in the zone over there as well. I was looking at a couple of coins as well. ThorChain is coming back into these zones. Okay, so it's just teaching us yet again, the most important thing is to be on this side of the market and not on this side of the market. The market will always come back, and the moment that it breaks previous levels, it will come back to test them as support. This is where we buy. We don't be scared today. We don't be afraid. We don't be nothing, but we be excited and we get our damn buys, right? All of these right now are great spot buys, guys. I think the areas we're at right now, if you want to wait another 5%, I wait 5% because I'm trading leverage. You don't want to wait 5%. I think a lot, all the altcoins that I just mentioned, I think are in great spot buy entries. Yes, I definitely do. I think they are at great zones and they're looking incredible as well. A couple of the meme coins are pulling back now. You can see all of them. There's Polygon as well. Let's see. That was Gala. Gaming is still not there yet. Oh, here is XRP coming to big zones as well. Keep it in mind. And remember, guys, you want to be conservative. Waited for the trend over here. I see a lot of people are saying that Kyle says we're going to nuke. Is this true? Kyle said we're going to nuke.
That's what they're saying.
Well, that's. I love Kyle 𝗬𝗎. That's his views over there, which is great. It's also a good way to justify being in cash, right? If you're not in cash, then I'm going today. Like I was sitting last week and I was like, no, I'm not FOMOing into this crap. I made some money, I banked some profits. I'm waiting. Right, I'm waiting for the strong pulls to happen. I'm buying the other side. I'm in. Right, I'm in. I'm going strong. I got cojones at these times over here. But I also, again, what did I say right now? I know there's a trap about to happen. Yes, it's correct. There is another little quick nuke incoming. But it's the best one for us, right? The best one we are going to take massive advantage of over there as well. Guys, a couple of other tokens. I am buying this token over here on spot. Okay, I am still dipping my toes, especially higher time frame. I'm dipping my toes into gaming. Here is MLC, My Lovely Planet. Same creators of Candy Crush in the gaming space, right? Got an incredible game. They plant trees. The game plays incredible itself. They're in crypto now. They got a coin. So this is one that I'm backing. I'm backing them very much. I'm buying long term over here as well. And I know they have a huge announcement incoming in the next couple of weeks as well. So shout out My Lovely Planet. Incredible. A couple of other tokens as well is I'm quite interested if 𝗏𝗏 pulls back. 𝗏𝗏 is one token that I still think I might trade. I'm not investing in memes, but I think I might trade 𝗏𝗏 over here as well, and I'm keeping eyes. So again, my big supports here on 𝗏𝗏, they are sitting lower. Okay, but 𝗏𝗏 is looking strong, but they are sitting in these areas over here. So guys, just be aware. Have some limit order setting 5-7% lower. There is still at any point a trap. But again, after this, I see a mega rally to the upside. So guys, tomorrow I'll be back. Hopefully our zones are in and the markets have bounced by then. If not, it'll be a bit cheaper and we'll get our damn buys in. Okay, we're going to execute our leverage positions. I want to share to you guys my strategies over there as well. I'm going to give away a lot of BitFunded. I'm going to give away a lot of Sniper Club. I might even give away 1 or 2 access to my early indicator, maybe, over there as well. And we'll go through a lot of your altcoins. Guys, Lots of love. Shorter show today. We've got to wait a little bit longer. 𝗬𝗨𝗕𝗏𝗔. Get ready to go. When markets rise up again, we'll trade a lot. Have a fantastic day. Love you all. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.